Welcome back to the Western Centurion channel. It is Sunday the 26th of June and around about 8:30 in the morning. So yeah, nice and early. Firstly, again, thank you so much everyone for all your condolences and your beautiful and caring comments you left after I did the last video about my dad passing and obviously Debbie going into hospital. So I'll give you a quick update on what happened there and how things went. The first thing is Debbie is doing really well. She's a lot better. She's reduced her medication. She's still having to see her consultants. There is possibly another operation in the near future, but that is going to be her choice. But after operation, things will be so much better for her. So much better. And the other thing is, Dad's funeral went really well. It was absolutely beautiful as far as funerals can go. Dad wasn't a religious man. I can't remember what they called it now, but we just had a lady came in and she did a speech about Dad, and his brother did a speech as well, which was absolutely beautiful. That was obviously about the days when they were kids and where they used to go and where they used to play. And then one of Dad's very old friends from Africa and Nigeria did a little speech as well, and came out with some lovely memories and quite a few things I didn't even know either. But one of those was that I knew my mother was a nurse at Great Ormond Street in London, the Children's Hospital. But what I hadn't realised, she was actually a sister at Great Ormond Street. So that was new to me. And also obviously explains why when we lived in Africa, she got fed up taking me to the hospital, so she did a lot of the patch up and repairs to me whenever I hurt myself, which for me was quite often. I used to hurt myself loads. And I suppose quite a majority of funeral things happen which you don't expect, and one of them was, for me, which was a highlight of my day, was that I got to meet my youngest daughter, who I haven't seen for I think around about 7-8 years. It's got to be something like that. So she was a young teenager when the last time I saw her, and now she's a beautiful young woman. I think she's 22 years old now. So that was a highlight of the funeral for me. Actually, sounds bizarre, but it's true. And my eldest daughter was there as well, so I got to see both of them at the same time with their boyfriends, and that was out of this world for me. Really was. And then, well, Debbie and I came home with my sister and brother-in-law, and we decided to celebrate in style, shall we say, the way Dad would have liked it. He loved beautiful colours. He was always into his colours, so he wouldn't even bat an eyelid at wearing something like orange trousers, a pink shirt, pink socks. Nothing like that. So what I tried to organise was to get some onesies for us all to wear, all different sort of onesies. So I ordered a giraffe onesie, a spotted cow onesie, and a like a dinosaur onesie. Now Debbie's already got a Tigger onesie, you know, from Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, because that's her nickname from me, is Tigger. And unfortunately they didn't turn up in time. So Debbie wore a Tigger onesie, and she had another sort of like onesie which she managed to force my brother-in-law to get into, which was so bizarre, really bizarre. But anyway, after couple of bottles of champagne, sat out on the patio. She managed to get him to put this onesie on, and well, actually, I'll show you the picture. I've got a picture, so I'll put the picture into this video, okay? And I think it should come up just about here somewhere. But before it comes up, I have to warn you, it might be a bit disturbing, okay? So if you're easily disturbed, turn away now for the next, I don't know, 5-10 seconds or so, okay? So yeah, there we are. Obviously you can see me. That's my sister. Alright, oh by the way, she read through all your comments on my last video for my dad and for Debbie, and yeah, it brought her to tears. It really did. In fact, it brought all of us to tears because it was so beautiful what all you wrote. I really appreciate that. And you can see Debbie in her onesie, her Tigger onesie, and then my brother-in-law Mike in the other onesie. How on earth he managed to fit into that, I do not know. I thought it was something from the old days. Remember in the 70s and the 80s from the wrestling? That's what it reminded me of. But yes, we had a brilliant afternoon. It was absolutely lovely. Did a barbecue, we had quite a bit of bubbly, and we spent the whole evening just talking about the past and stuff like that. So that finished it off beautifully. And as he said, I'm pretty sure Dad was sat with us all the way through it, and not only Dad but my mum. So it was a fabulous finish to the day. So yeah, that's the short update on Dad and Debbie. So what have I been doing up to then? Because obviously I've been away for what, last video? Over a month ago, or about a month ago? Well, been doing a lot of stuff in work. I'm sort of like changing jobs and work at the moment, which is for me is a good thing because I won't be out on the road so much. I'll be focusing a lot more time in the factory and helping out with production, which I hope will give me more time here at home. So yeah, in between there, I've been trying to get the Fiddle Yard finished. Now, do you remember I said I still got to tackle the issue of how to get the Fiddle Yard to go around, or the movable section of the Fiddle Yard on the single door over there, and how to get it sorted with the double doors. Now, I really struggled on how I was going to do that properly, because remember, it's not just the Fiddle Yard, I've got the top section to do as well. So some of you came up with some great ideas on maybe having something on wheels that you just swing round out of the way, but when I really looked at that, that was going to be a bit impractical because it's going to take up too much room, especially when from this wall out it's going to be 3 feet, and then from the door or the section near the door is going to be 2 feet, so that would have made that, what, 5 feet sticking out. So no, I couldn't have done that. That just would not have had the space or the room. So I came up with an idea and I put it all into place, and I think it's going to work. I really do. So what I will do, I will take you around the garage again, because also I think it's going to look a lot different from the last time. I don't think I've taken you around the garage for quite a while. So I'll show you the single door first and what I've done to resolve that issue, and then I'll show you the double doors. Alright, it is quite exciting. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you will be as well. Alright, so that's what I'll do now. I'll stop the camera and I'll set it up so you can see what I've actually done. Okay, so see you again in a moment. Bye bye. Hi everyone, and welcome back. What you can actually see here to start with is the leftover bits of wood from making the removable sections. So what I do, I think I'll show you the double door area first, okay, and what I've done for the fiddle yard. So what I decided to go with in the end was 2 drop down sections. So we've got one on the right and one on the left. But before I could do that, I had to extend the fiddle yard and the top section out, so it became pretty much filled in the side light area, and I had to do the same over here, because if I hadn't done that, then I couldn't have the drop down section, because each piece would have been too long. So that took quite a bit of doing, to be honest. It was a bit of a nightmare to get that spot on, but I've done it, and it hasn't taken up too much extra room. We'll still use the double doors. They're both opened up. We can still get big objects in and out if needed, except for the car, obviously. I've still got to redo the doors though, cut those back down to size so they'll fit properly. And what I'll do in a moment after I've shown you the other side is I'll do the video of me actually putting it up so you can see what it's like. It's quite easy. I'm quite pleased with it. I don't think it's 100% finished yet. But it's not far off. Oh, and one of the things I've decided to do was on the section that lifts up, you can see I've got a lip all the way along here. That was so that when it lifted up, it then rested on there, which in a sense for me means that it won't, you can't really lift this up too much, and it should mean that when it's lifted up it'll be in line with this piece of board there. I've done the same over here, so I've got the lip along here, and that will rest on top of here, which does give it it helps line it up beautifully, and shouldn't cause any issues once I've cut the track for misalignment. Nothing should be higher than the other. Okay, and then if we come round here, I'll take you to the single door. Slightly different, because I've gone with this side to be quite long. I think that's nearly it's just over 4 feet long and hangs down from the side. But again, you can see I've left this, didn't take the board right up to the edge, and I've got this lip here. So when I pull this section up, it comes up, hits underneath here, and then keeps the alignment between this piece of board and that piece of board bang on. The only thing I need to do is do the same with this as well, because I've got no lip on there. This is the first one I did, by the way. It was after this I thought about using the idea of the lip and the edge to make sure the boards were aligned properly. So what I'll probably do is cut this back a bit, put a longer piece of board on here. You can see it's made up of 2 bits of board, and I want to make that 1 piece of board, and put a lip on here, so that will do the same. So I just got to redo that. And I'll change this plywood for MDF as well. So I bring you along here, if you have a look at the edge, look at that. That's actually during the manufacturing of it. And it's absolute naff. It really, really is. Very disappointed with that wood, to be honest. which is why I'm not going to be using any of it on the layout now. I'll just go with MDF all the way through. So yeah, so this is the the principles of my idea, and I'm quite chuffed with it, and I think it will work. I might need to do a little few tweaks on it, but the principle is there, and the principle does work. So what I'll do, I'll stop the camera again, I'll get it onto the tripod, blinkers, onto the tripod, and show you it in action, shall we say. Okay, see you again in a mo. Bye bye. Right, okay, here we are. I'll take you through the steps of putting up the first section of the Fiddle Yard removable area or bridge or whatever people want to call it, but just have to move the door out the way first. It still makes me laugh when I do it, but anyway, I had to find a way of getting some legs on it, okay, because it wouldn't self-support itself. So these bits here are actually the legs. So the first thing I do is I'm going to pull these down, alright, like so. Then I can start pulling this backwards, pull this up, make sure the legs go down, and I'll have some proper stops, put them in the right position. There. So that's the first part out, and it is nice and sturdy. And the next one will be this, okay? If I lift this up, got a couple of latches on here, put them into place, and there. It's done. That's it. As simple as that. So easy, and it is rock solid. So chuffed. I spent ages, absolutely ages, trying to work out a way of doing it, and it was as simple as this. I'm going to have to do some tweaks. I'm going to have to use some proper bolts to go. I've just got screws in here at the moment. I probably might round these off and put some bolts through. And as I say, I've got to put something on the floor for these to slot into to make sure that they stay at the right height. But this is pretty much perfectly level, and it's going to work. Hope you're impressed with it, because I certainly am. I can't believe it actually does what I wanted to do. Okay, so well, that's that one. What I'll do now, I shall turn the camera around, and we'll do that side. Okay, stay with us. Right, okay, this might be a little bit more difficult to show you because it's such a confined space, and I'll probably end up in the way. But anyway, what we do, we pull this side up first, okay, like so. And again, in this corner I have a latch and a leg that folds up underneath and drops down. There, and again, nice solid surface. And then this section, I hope I'm not in the way, lifts up, and again we have two latches. There, and it's in place. That's it. Solid. What do you think? Think we'll do? I think it probably will. As I say, I want to replace this piece with MDF again, just to make sure everything lines up properly, although along here it lines up quite nicely. So I might not have to, but it doesn't on here. So yeah, I'll probably have to use MDF to make sure it lines up on there nicely, because that's where the track will be cut. So that's those two sections. Again, I'm going to get the camera now and we'll walk around, and I'll just go through some of the the finer details, which aren't really anything because it's quite basic. But yeah, I'll take you through those. Okay, so let's go back to that. Okay, and this is the single door section up together. You see the latch holds it into place quite nicely. I also have this underneath if need be. I'll just turn that round and that will give it a bit more support. But I think you can see there's still a bit of a lip on there, which worries me. Hence why I'm thinking about going for the MDF one here properly. These two latches hold it in place nicely. That's nice and smooth along there, which is where the track will be cut. There's a little bit of a lip on that section, and as you can see from the incline, that's where the track, if I just take these off, that's where the track comes down, and I think it's going to pretty much hit the baseboard around about here, and then I'll cut it there, so it's a bit close. That's quite nice on there. You know what? I think it will work. I really do think it will work. You see, that's a nice join along there. Got another lovely join along there. That's okay. I might, if need be, put another latch in the middle, because just remember this is just the for the fiddle yard, and I can't have anything stored on this area, so that will just be track to take us to and from either side of the storage areas on the fiddle yard. So yeah, I think that's going to work quite nicely. As I said, for the legs down here, I don't know if you can see, if I move out of the way a bit, there I've got some pencil marks in place. Well, I just need to put, I think, a small piece of wood along here, and a small piece along there, or maybe that side as well, so that can just slide straight in. And once it goes in, it will be like a stop, and I know it's in the correct position, and do the same for that one back there. But yes, that is pretty much the way it's going to be for the fiddle yard. For the main layout, well, this is going to be a lift up section, so it's going to have to come right up over, and because I brought it out this far, this extra section here and this extra section there, all I have on the top piece is one section like that and another section that size, so that is half on there, and that I've already measured it, and that will clear perfectly the ceiling. So that means I can have it come up in the usual style where it's got to come up quite high to clear any scenery that might be on there, and then come up and rest up back up there, up here somewhere. That's the plan, and I don't see any reason why it won't work, and that'll be the same down here as well, except this will be fine, that section, because when that lifts up, that'll lift up quite nice and clear the ceiling, but obviously that piece won't, will it, because it's a lot longer. So I don't know if any of you have seen my earlier videos where, say, we had a section that long. It's when I was making up a mock-up or an idea I had for over there before I even started doing the garage, and it's pretty basically that is cut in half and hinged, so when it lifts up, this will come up, go round, but then this section actually drops down behind it, and that's the only way I'm going to get this area done as a lift up section so we can get in and out of the garage, because there's no way Debbie's going to crawl under there. No. And she's still got the chainsaw, and I don't want to come home one day and find it all cut to bits, so she could get through. Okay, so that is what, or this is what I've been up to in the garage, as well as the incline, which I've got to redo. As I said, it was pretty much just a prototype to see if it worked, and it does. I'm over the moon with that, and I will replace the plywood with MDF, and we'll get that done at some stage or other. But for me, yes, it's just another step in getting closer to actually getting some proper trap laid down. So close now, just got to get these little tweaks done. I hope to be able to do some of that in the evenings once my job role has properly changed, and I can leave my supplier stuff behind. I can just focus on production, which means no more travelling, and I get home at decent times. Okay, so that's about it, folks. I'll have to love you and leave you now, and I will have another update very, very soon. Okay, so ta-ra everyone, have a lovely day, and maybe see you next weekend. Bye bye.